Okay, we're back at Firelink Shrine. I decided to come back after that. I got my green Titanite shard. And I got a few more large Titanite shards and stuff. So let's look at that warrior set. Now, something weird that happened, not weird, stupid, is that I accidentally upgraded the standard helm because I was going to go repair my equipment. This is the only piece of the warrior set, oddly enough, that has poise in it. The other ones are leather, but they're actually quite good because they're very light for their strength, and it's you can go through the whole game just wearing the hard leather set. And for like casters or something, that's somebody who's not investing in their stamina. It's a viable armor set without having to invest in your stamina at all, or wearing like Hobble's ring or something. Over here is Laurentius.
Well, I see you made it out. Yeah, I made it out safely too. I have my pyromancy of the Great Swarm, so I can usually manage with a bit of care. Oh yeah, by the way, I can share my spells with you. I think you have a knack for it. All you need are the materials. I'll be pleased to help you. Unless you find the magic's unsavory.
No, he's talking about there's a stigma. I'm gonna say no.
Yeah, wonderful. I'm sure that they'll be of some use, some assistance. Here, first take this.
So it gives us a pyromancy flame.
A flame from the Great Swamp. Now you're a fully fledged pyromancer. Why, let's get started right now.
I wouldn't think that people would be, opposed to this sort of thing, but apparently they are.
Pyromancy is the art of casting fire. Produce flame, then channel it, just as our ancestors did. A pyromancer must be in tune with nature herself. My home, the Great Swamp, is an abundant store of nature. You will understand one day. It only takes time. Pyromancy has a, rather primitive aspect to it. It meshes poorly with advanced culture, and pyromancers are considered rather unsavory, which is fine, as I never got along with anybody anyway. So, for me, turning undead didn't change a thing.
He's a pretty cool dude.
A pyromancer's flame is a part of his own body. The flame develops right along with his skill. When I gave you that flame, I gave you a part of myself. Please take good care of him.
That's creepy. So, he can upgrade the pyromancy flame here, which is quite cheap. I don't see any reason not to do it a couple times. Yeah, let's get it up. There we go. And you can buy some pyromancy spells. Combustion is very good. It's basically a little jet of fire that shoots out of your hand. Fireball is the spell that the pyromancer starts with, and it's, well, what it sounds like. Fireball. It's a ranged attack. Good to have, only costs 800. Iron Flesh is pretty good, but it makes you really slow when you use it, so I'm not going to get that. Flash Sweat is quite nice. I'll pick that up. It makes you more resistant to fire. Now, Fire Orb is a bit more expensive, but we'll go ahead and pick that up. It's an upgraded version.
Fine. Come back if you find anything new.
Of Fireball. So let's check out our friendos up here. Everybody's gone. Oh, but Petrus is here. Hey, Petrus. What's up?
Oh, you again? Me? I've become separated from my lady. I've scoured near and far, but no sight of her. Where could she have gone? My lady, to think I swore to protect you with my life.
Okay.
Your Highness, where have you gone? I am entirely to blame for this. Oh, woe is me. I am unworthy, deathly so.
So it's kind of implied here that he kind of ran away.
Oh, I'm sorry. Miracles, was it? Sometimes I lose myself. Pay me no mind.
So, he's got the normal crap he had before. I don't think I ever bought any sorceries. No, I did. Okay. So we've got some extra souls. Let's buy a couple more sorceries.
Oh, hello. Well, you certainly are keeping at it. Myself, I'm fine. Let's get started straight away.
When we go back down to the area where we start doing Blighttown, I will get myself summoned and fight the dragon again, so you can see what that's like. I forgot I was going to do that. This is by Heavy Soul Arrow. That's pretty useful for bosses. We'll leave this stuff for later since we don't really have
All right. That'll do it.
the brain juice to use it. But what do we need for Heavy Soul Arrow 12? We can get that now. Now, something to be careful of, willy-nilly buying different stat points, is that each one makes it so that the next one costs a lot more points. Which is why starting at lower levels with the stats that you like are good. So that's why we started as a cleric, because I wanted to get lots of faith. Now, there's something kind of weird to do with Petrus a little bit later. If you played the game before, you'll know something about him that will make things a little bit easier. And a lot of NPCs are like that, but I'm going to take advantage of my knowledge of that to kind of affect something later. But not right now. Let's go up, and since I've got that green Titanite shard, and we have that large ember, we can go give those to our buddy Andre. And we get some stuff upgraded. I could have used a bunch of those souls to get my armor and stuff upgraded. I do have quite a bit of twinkling titanite, so I could upgrade my helmet even. And my shield. I'm not going to use it on this sword though, since I'm going to be dumping it in a moment. Some hollow soldier armor. I don't know if I've gotten that. Did I get a hollow soldier armor? I did, okay. And then when I'm done here, I will meet you back over at the entrance to Blighttown. Or we could go figure out what happened to Rhea and her compatriots. I think we'll do that, because that's not what we're supposed to do right now. And it gives us a bit of an advantage if we do that. There's a rest here. Just in case something bad happens. Although it would be better to go back to Firelink if we died, since that's where we're heading. We just respawned all the enemies in the way.
Why, that's a fine ember you have there. I could smith some mighty weapons with one of those. Why not lend it to me?
Nothing else to do with it. Give it to Andre.
Magnificent. You won't be disappointed. I can hardly wait to get started.
Now, I'm trying not to level up too much, so let's use some souls here. I don't want to do that. So, we can now modify our equipment to make them +6, which costs a large Titanite shard. And now that we have a green Titanite shard, we can make a divine longsword through that. Do I want to make anything else? Not yet. We'll see what we have at the end of this. And he doesn't have anything I want to buy. So, when you go to reinforce the weapon again, you can see the Divine Longsword requires some more Titanite shards. But you can see it's got 86 damage and 105 damage. Let's take a closer look at that. So, right here we've got our Restore a Straight Sword, scaling bonuses on Strength, Dexterity, and Faith. If we look down up at our Divine Longsword, you can see it's got a C scaling on Faith, but only a D scaling on Strength and Dexterity. So that's the price you pay. It also has a slightly different modifier for Divine stuff, which I think will make it deal less damage to enemies like skeletons or something. But it will end up dealing more damage to most of the enemies. So let's go ahead and equip that. And as you can see, it just looks like a normal longsword right now. Let's use some of our souls to upgrade our helmet with that twinkling titanite we have.
You seem to need anything.
I'm going to be using this most of the game, so let's reinforce armor. We want to find our helmet. I could also upgrade the shield. I might upgrade the shield too. Let's upgrade the Fangboar helmet. Do it twice. Only costs 200 souls. I could get it to a +3, but that's alright. Let's reinforce our shield. And you can see this costs 2,000. But before it was lower on stability.
Neither of us want to see you go hollow.
And you can actually upgrade, because they're weapons, you can actually upgrade shields to have like elemental effects or something. But the stability is now 66. It started at 64, I think. Every time you upgrade it, it will increase that. And that's pretty much all it increases except that in damage. So, down to a little over 5,000 souls. I could upgrade my armor. Why not? But I don't need to talk to him to do that. You can do that at the bonfire over here. So I'm going back to Firelink. Because we're going to head down into the Catacombs. Just because. It'll be funny. And we can do the Catacombs right now. Pretty easily. And I also want to kind of show something off that you wouldn't normally, I guess, see if you were just going to the Catacombs when you have to go to the Catacombs. Really, the only hint here to go to the Catacombs is when Rhea doesn't come back, and I guess you're feeling chivalrous or something. Oh, and there's also another thing we want to do before going to Blighttown. I just remembered it. But we'll do that after we do the Catacombs. Hey, Petrus. Still hanging on? Whatever. So we'll upgrade our piece... well, actually, I don't have any Titanite shards anymore. Okay, I guess we'll skip that then. Head. Sounds like some snoring going on there. That happens when you ring one of the bells of awakening. So, to go to the Catacombs, obviously we go down this part. Let's see how this sword does against skeletons. It pretty much destroys them. Now, these are the guys that I would think have the effect done to them. So this deals 82 to them. So let's check out the Astora straight sword, see if it deals more or less damage. If that that divine effect actually affects anything. Nope. See, it does 57. And it is harder to stagger them with it, looks like. Oh. It's a good thing I was too far away for him to actually parry that attack. Okay. So let's go ahead and use our divine longsword then. So, there's not really anything in the game that tells you to go to the Catacombs until much, much later. You just kind of guess that you're supposed to go down here. And we could have done this, I don't know. I would say as far as difficulty of the area, it's probably on par with the stuff in the... on par with the stuff in like the Darkroot Garden or something. Those are little floaty heads that explode. and you want to get out of the way before they do that, because they do a lot of damage. This area can be kind of annoying because it's dark and there's a lot of vertical sections to it. But I actually rather like it. So. And there's something we want to do before we do the major part of it. But I actually want to show off why we want that before we do that. And there's another way to do it. Backstab the skeleton. Now these things aren't getting up because I'm using a divine weapon, but if I weren't, then they would respawn after you kill them. They would reconstitute themselves, and then you wouldn't get any souls. Even if you kill them with a spell or something, without a divine weapon, they'll do that. It's odd though. Sometimes they don't respawn. So here we have the source of that, the necromancers. And these guys don't respawn, they're mini bosses. And you can see that little thing he's carrying. It's kind of a mummified head that acts as a lantern. We get a bunch of souls from them, and they shoot fire from it. I'm not in much danger because I have this shield. So not too worried about them. But if you were to come in here with no divine weapon, if you kill those guys, then the skeletons won't respawn anyway. And you can see I don't knock them over by hitting them with my basic attack. Oh, right, I forgot. This place has a bunch of doors that you need to use these lever things to open. Go ahead and do that. There we go. And we'll just continue on. Now these statues here are a bit tricksy. We'll see what I mean by that later. And we come out into this big open area, which makes my frame rate kind of jitter a little sometimes. We see a man shooting fire over there, but doesn't want us to lock onto him because of the skeleton. And these skeletons will do a bunch of acrobatic stuff. They'll roll at you and do cartwheels and stuff. Now, we can shoot right back at him. Our lightning spear. Let's go ahead and do that. And now, if for some reason I didn't have a divine weapon, all of these skeletons in this area would not respawn. Or get back up. I suppose they are not really respawning. You see how he kind of collapsed into a pile? These falchion skeletons will do that. Ow. Now these ones will often fall off the edge here, and they won't die if you don't have a divine weapon. What happened to this guy? Oh, looks like he fell into the doom. Now you can actually, if you do a tricky jump, you can jump off here, and you can see there's a fog door down there. But I'd rather not attempt to do that right now. Up above there, there's a guy with a bow. So, we could take care of him. He just ragdolled his master around. It's not very polite. And we'll see some even more acrobatic skeletons a little bit later. Crunch. And we'll see, well, a bunch of interesting stuff in here. I'm going to be a bit more careful than usual here, though. This place is very, very annoying if you do it wrong. We're gonna be careful. This is one of the first areas that the amount of bonfires you find actually is a problem. Unless you have certain means with which to shorten the level, so to speak. Which, I mean, as long as you know where you're going, you can do it. You can do it too. But having spells makes it easier. Actually, a bunch of the gimmicks of this area can be... This area and the next area can be circumvented through spells. But I am specifically not going after one of them right now to kind of show that off. And because it's harder to do it that way. And that's how it rolls sometimes. Another soul item. Been keeping those for a long time. Across that gap there, you can see one of those necromancers. We can't go there yet. Here we have some of those glowy heads. I don't know if this counts as fire damage. It does pretty big knockback too. And you can see some of these are traps. You can see the those heads always are in groups of 3, and they will respawn. You can see there's a kind of a metal plate that has these things coming out of them. We don't take much damage from them because we have really good armor. Let's kick him off. I said let's kick him off. You can see he didn't die. Or he died and we didn't get any souls for it. One of those two things happened. Backstabbing skeletons doesn't make any sense. You're not gonna hear me complaining. I guess we're spine stabbing them. So, if we activate this, this will turn that bridge over where the necromancer is so we can cross it. You can actually turn them back if for some reason you wanted to do that. I don't know. So here's a real dick move of this level. Inside there, you can see a bonfire, but you can't get to it from here, and it's actually kind of hard to find the first time through. I'm pretty obsessive about exploring everything, so I did. But, I mean, somebody who gets really frustrated with this level might not. And this level can be pretty frustrating, so I would not blame anyone for not doing that. Although, that bonfire actually decreases the frustration factor. That was very poorly timed on my part. Switching my weapons. Switching your weapons means you can't continue blocking if you do that. That was actually that attack there I did was actually queued up. I accidentally hit the thing while I was trying to move forward, so let's just take care of that guy. Now that we've killed the necromancer, I don't think he fell far enough, though, actually. I think he fell... Nope. Now that we've killed the necromancer, if you knock him down, they'll die. So here's another thing we'll see a lot in these kind of spiral areas with a bunch of side passages. This one has a lot of side passages. Now you can see I'm getting some health from these guys, which is the reason I want to have the ring equipped for this area. I shouldn't have had it equipped for the boss, obviously. Unless the boss was like summoning dudes or something, I guess. Can't think of any boss that does that. Never mind, I can think of one. So he dropped an item. What item it is anybody's guess. Oh, it's a scimitar. This guy also dropped a scimitar. So there. This area is filled with dudes. So let's lure them out in as few numbers as we can. Now we have the heal spell now. So I can... Well, we had it before, but I actually have it equipped. So I can use that for topping myself off sometimes. I need to try to keep my health up with the ring, though. To save that for later. Endurance can be pretty important in this level. Especially because of that bonfire being in kind of an odd area. We'll be getting to that, though. Another soul. Trap there. Okay, so now here we have something that is fun. Okay. Bye. Skeletons are kind of stupid. Here's the pyromancer, or the necromancer. Let's just kill him normally. I can see an item up there. Ooh. Got a skull lantern from him. One of the necromancers in here will always drop one. At least that's in my experience, they will. But I have 5 humanity, so maybe it was a random drop. Can see an item up there, but we can't get to that yet. If we go down here, it kind of ends in this ledge, and you can see some items and stuff down there. I don't want to go that way yet. I definitely don't want to go that way yet. But we'll be going that way eventually. After we get the bonfire, at least. That's another one of those areas, like back in the depths, where if you, I already did this. Where if you drop down, there's an area below it, but it will make you skip a bunch of stuff. So let's go back to this area. And if we fall down here, there is a thing. Where? Oh, yeah. And there's a crystal gecko in here. And then in the corridor is a ladder that goes up. Actually. Okay. No, this isn't the area I was thinking of. Now this is going to make me backtrack here, but I've killed everything in the area, so it's just going to make me walk for a little while. I'm going to shut this off. This entire thing is basically just for that crystal gecko. And we're back here. Later on, we can get to that bonfire. Rest assured. So now that we're here, let's just roll off these this thing onto these stairs. You can see that we are back in this area. Makes things a little easier. And out here we can see that there's a bridge. I didn't push the thing over here, so let's go across here. At the end of here, you can see, well, there's a message. Bonfire? Yes. Go past that gap and up the stairs, and there's a bonfire. Hey. Now let's actually reverse all hollowing here and kindle it. Just because. It'll be fun. No, just to give us a little bit more endurance. We still have quite a bit to go in this level. I could level up, but I think we're good for now. It caught me. So let's go activate that thing that I neglected to do earlier. Because I was a stoop. And now that I've done that, these guys are respawned. I'm doing very poorly on this guy. Whatever. Wait, hang on. This isn't the right way. Oops. I should have healed there, but I was being a bit reckless.